Okay, welcome everyone. Tonight is our fourth class of Bashert Lounge's Lounge and Learn series that we've been having leading up to the high holidays. Rosh Hashanah is around the corner. And with us tonight, we have Daniella Bloom. She is, let me get it right, LA's premier dating and relationship success coach. And tonight we're going to be talking about Magnetize Your New Year, manifesting your full potential in love and life. And we've already had one class with Daniella, and we've heard a little bit about how to magnetize in love and life, but we're going to hear a lot more tonight from Daniella about kind of almost her methodology also, and it sounds like it's even worked for her in her personal life as well. So I'm very interested to hear about that. And we're going to have a 30-minute kind of topic introduction from Daniella. She's going to share with us some wisdom. And then we're going to do the moderated Q&A. So if anybody has questions during the class, you can either chat them to me privately or to the group, and we will cover them in the second part. And then you can hang out after, and we will have some mingling and discussion afterwards. So without further ado, Daniella.
Well, hello, everyone. Sam, thank you so much for sharing a little bit about my background. I love doing these kinds of things. Speaking to single crowds, specifically Jewish single crowds, is one of my absolute favorite things to do because kind of like all of my life experiences and my education has led me to this place. I want to be in full disclosure and let you know that I've also been honored as LA's premier divorcee success coach and dating expert. So you're wondering, why should we listen to a divorcee? Her marriage didn't work out. What does she have to say? So let me explain to you why my voice is so valuable and why I care so much that you know what I know now. So you too are manifesting to full potential in life and love, because everything starts from within. So a little bit about me. I thought I did everything right. I decided that I wanted to be married very young. And I just felt like once my life would truly begin, once I would meet my soulmate, and then my life could take it from there. That was my thinking back in my early 20s. And so before The Secret came out, I learned actually the true universal laws of attraction. And I was living in New York at the time. And this was right around the time when JDate was just starting out. We didn't have any apps. This was the early 2000s. And within 30 days, I actually did manifest the man who would later become my husband of 16 years. And we produced 3 beautiful children. And all the while, as I got my degree in psychology, I got my master's as a psychotherapist, I started honing in on this formula to help my clients and my friends draw to them their exact matches. And I realized that how you do anything is how you do everything. So people who are living fully balanced lives are the ones who are manifesting to their full potential, and they usually attract partners and opportunities that don't compensate for them, but complement them. And it all starts from within. That's what we can actually control. So what we're going to do tonight is I'm going to break down to you what actually balance means, what balance truly means for you to lay the foundation for manifestation foundation. And I'm also going to talk to the importance of clarity. So many people think they know where they want to go, right? Like I want to meet my soulmate. I want to lose 20 pounds. I want to get the job of my dreams. But if you go examining, if you go digging, there's so many patterns, limiting beliefs, and mixed messages that they're sending out to the universe that are keeping them in a neutral position. For example, let's say someone is just certain that they want to lose 20 pounds. But if you dig a little bit underneath, you find out that actually losing weight would be terrifying, because there's a subconscious belief that they would be exposed. Maybe there's some trauma attached to why they gained weight in the first place. So you truly cannot have transformative change and results until you clean your own internal filter, because like attracts like. And if we're talking about manifesting a great high quality partner, you got to be operating at that high quality level to attract that high quality back. Otherwise, you're going to attract that low quality level because your patterns are still happening and you haven't done the work you need to address them. So you are now operating at a higher functioning level. So I know I'm using terms like law of attraction, vibration. These are very California familiar terms. I know we have a lot of people who are not from California. So if you need me to specify or you need some clarification, please let me know. Because if you have a question, chances are others have a question. If you don't feel quite comfortable saying it directly, just submit your question to Sam and then she will ask it on your behalf anonymously. It's no problem. Okay? So let's get to it. So how many people here, just so I have an idea, their priority is to manifest a high quality relationship or their priority is to manifest something professionally? So put relationship or professional goals. So I just get a feel. Both? Relationship? Thank you, Bruce, Svi, Yael, relationship, both. Okay, awesome. Okay, great. So we are gonna go there. We're gonna go there, and so this is why I care. I want you guys to start off with your best foot forward because relationships are hard enough. You know, it's not so difficult to match on these apps. It's not even so difficult to get married. But what really counts is long-term partnership. And are you really equipped with those long-term partnership skills now? Because that is what it counts, all right? So we're gonna go into exactly what I mean by that, okay? So first we're gonna start off with something basic, okay? So everyone knows what the Jewish star is, okay? Actually it's a very Kabbalistic symbol. There's two triangles, right? There's 1 and 2. So the triangle facing up is usually embodying the energy of the masculine. The energy of the masculine is the energy of giving, okay? Energy of rising, energy of goal orientation, do, multitask, okay? The second triangle, the one facing down, is the energy of the feminine, the womb, Mother Nature. It's usually the energy embodied with receiving, being alive, spontaneous, creative, spiritual. So we need actually both energies to live an optimal life, okay? It's not about, don't take it literally, okay? Men and women are deprived of the energy of the feminine. The energy of the feminine, another way of saying it, is the energy of receptibility. Now, you can't have high quality balanced life without both energies, and so many of us are living in the energy of the masculine. You know, we have computers, our phones attached to our hands 24/7. There's always something we could be doing on them, whether it's an email or listening to a podcast or checking social media. We have gotten so used to being on the go that stopping and being in the moment and being unplanned without our calendars, being spontaneous, being alive, letting ourselves be open to be inspired by divine action, these are weakened muscles that we must learn to condition again. I bet many of you can recount stories in your own personal lives, from parents, from friends, from yourselves, that the most magical things have happened to you when you had least expected it. You weren't planning on it. You just happened to be at the right place at the right time, or something told you to book that ticket or go to that class or walk down and eat at that cafe, and then boom, you met someone, or you got an opportunity that you could not have even thought you could comprehend before. That is being in the energy of receiving. I'm going to give you the top 7 elements that you can do this week that will start to put you back on track to full potential in love and life. And that is the most attractive thing, whether it's a partner you want to attract, a new position you want to attract. Living your life at full potential is what God wants us. And we all have a divine, unique voice and gift that only we can express. And when we get clear and determined on continuing to want to express that, that is when magic truly, truly happens. And that is actually what is in your control. Because waiting for something to happen, you're going to spend your whole life waiting. Starting to showing up to full potential, you become that bright light. You're attracting to you exactly bright lights back. So any questions so far? Are we good? Okay, so Sam, you'll let me know if we have any popped up questions, okay?
Yeah, I'll let you know.
Okay, so the first thing to get you back into the energy of receiving is to actually receive, okay? Actually receive. I can't tell you how difficult this is, especially for women, when someone gives you a compliment, to actually say, thank you. Just thank you, not, oh, this old thing, or, oh, someone could have done that job just as well. For men and women, when someone or something is acknowledging you already, receive it and receive it fully. Because when you receive it fully, you're giving that message to yourself that I am worthy of receiving wonderful things, okay? Because confidence is the most attractive thing for both sexes. So to not minimize when people are trying to give you something, to receive it and say thank you, okay? Number one. Also, I should have said at the beginning, if you guys have something to write on, it's always great to be able to take notes, even if on your phone you have a note section. When you write things down after you hear them and then you review them, that's how you make real change, okay? It separates the people who are serious about up-leveling to the people who are just, I have nothing else to do on a Sunday evening, okay? Maximize your time here. All right, so number one is receiving. Number two, number two. We are not meant to be princes and princesses. We are meant to be kings and queens. A queen wants to meet her king. A king wants to meet his queen. And what true, wonderful kings and queens know is the art of delegation. We cannot do everything by ourselves, because when we are running depleted, that's not sexy. It's not sexy to a partner. It's not sexy to a job. It's not sexy to our friends. It's not sexy to anyone. So learning to delegate, learning to prioritize, even amongst yourself, saying, what needs to get truly done? What can wait? What will make me feel empowered if I get it done and out of the way, so I'm not spending so much unneeded bandwidth obsessing over what is stressing me out and procrastinating even further. Taking charge of your priorities is very empowering, because it says that I command my own time. I'm not a slave to it. So time management, to give you balance and space again, is crucial. So number two would be delegate for your time, and delegate and ask for support. Number three, we are not lost on experts today. There's an expert for everything and anything. You just put it into Google and you have someone there giving you direction. But we also are experts with what works for us too. And bringing out that voice, that intuition, being able to ask ourselves questions, even if we don't know the answer, is extremely powerful. Some of the most successful people are people who actually talk to themselves, people who actually ask questions out loud and wait for an answer. So when people say, let me think on that, or I'll get back to you on that, that's actually an empowering response. Because you're saying an action step. You said, I will get back to you, but I need to think about it some more. And allowing credibility to your own voice, so that voice can guide you, is really, really powerful. It's a game changer. So number three, listening to your own inner voice. Okay. Number four, this is so important and so easy to do. And it's still beautiful wherever you are. Unless you're in Colorado. I hear there's snow now in Colorado. That's crazy. And of course, if you're anywhere near the fires, I hope everyone's okay and safe. But we all have access to nature. Just going outside and letting the sun go down on you, feeling the wind in your hair, smelling nature, hearing nature sounds, actually even taking off your shoes and putting your feet onto the earth is extremely grounding. It's kind of like the way we charge. We charge up, right? We charge our phones. Letting nature stimulate you, stimulate your senses, is a natural way to be in the energy of receiving. All you're doing is receiving. You're receiving the sounds and the smells and the sensations. And I'm not even saying like, go and meditate or exercise. Like, I'm not even going there. I mean, you can. It's great if you already do that stuff. But I'm talking about for those who don't even do that. Just spend 10 minutes outside in nature. That's it. That's all you have to do. You don't do anything. Just be in nature and receive. And pay attention to where your eyes are wandering or what you're appreciating, or maybe you're watching a squirrel eat a nut, or just receive what is around you, okay? Because that forces you to be present. So that's number 4, nature. So following that is getting back into our senses. And again, one of the most attractive things that men, actually, I'm going to ask you guys, okay? What is the I'm sorry, that is my dog doing something weird. If you hear something. What women and men, what do you guys think is the most attractive quality a woman possesses for a man? Let's see what you guys think. Confidence, nurturing, kindness. These are all great answers. They're just not the number one. Intelligence. Intelligence is very underrated. Strength. Support. All very good responses. Okay, says what she's actually thinking. I love that one. Bruce, high five. High five. We're going to get to that. Intelligence, kindness, and good listener. Okay, so I kind of alluded to it earlier. The number one most attractive thing for a man from a woman is her energy of aliveness. Because when she is exuberating a sense of aliveness, it inspires him to step up as a man to meet that aliveness. It's almost like a challenge. Like, she is so full on her own. How do I get into that? Where's my place in that? Like, I'm attracted, I'm challenged. Okay. So ladies, some of the sexiest sensual things you can do is connect back into that energy of aliveness. Okay. And it doesn't have to be a big deal. I'm not saying go out and buy the sexiest clothes and wear all this makeup. No, I'm just saying getting back into that sensuality, that aliveness, is by letting your senses be stimulated, getting into the habit of enjoying your food, smelling flowers, appreciating textures, laughing, taking baths, very, very much getting back into that grounding Mother Nature sensing that we as women, we embody all of that. And for men, you know, when you go out on a date, when you go and you're about to do a job interview, get into that empowered masculine energy. You know, like if you like to run, or you like to play basketball, or you like to box, just something that puts you into that I can conquer the world. I'm driven. I'm purpose driven. That's the energy women respond to. That's the energy of a leader. And women do love that. They, you know, the metaphor is a woman wants to be able to be safe and free to express all of herself, her flaws, her imperfections, her strengths, her creativity, her value. And she needs a strong man who can weather that storm. Okay, not that that storm is negative. I know that word might sound like it's a negative connotation. That's not what I mean. I'm just saying that women have all these abilities to express all different types of weather, right? Bright sun and maybe cloudy skies and rainbows and all this stuff, right? A man who's a leader, he's not going to get swayed by that. He's going to appreciate all that because he in himself is in his own empowered masculine energy. He's purpose driven. He has his own direction with full potential. So more on that later. Okay. So getting back into your senses. The next thing would be laughter. Okay. This leads into laughter. We don't have enough of that in our lives. Laughter is the energy of spontaneity, because what makes you laugh? Why is something funny? When someone or something does something unexpected. It's the energy of receiving. Boom. It's a surprise. Who doesn't love surprises? especially with what's going on today in this world, in our country. Laughter is just as important as anything else, even more so, because there's actually a release of serotonin. It's scientifically proved that when you laugh, your whole body relaxes, and you get this flood of nourishing chemicals and hormone releases that make you feel good, and it's free, it's cheap. So if you don't have the opportunity to be around like friends that you just know when you hang out with them, you're laughing, then find a YouTube channel, find a show, find a comedian that just lets you laugh. It's so important to laugh. Men also, I'm sure this is might not be a surprise to many of you. One of the most attractive things for a woman is a man's ability to make her laugh. And that's not just romantically. You know, if you are meeting clients, if you are meeting people in a profession and you make them laugh, which makes them feel good about themselves, that's the positive impression you're leaving with them. Don't underestimate the power of laughter and getting back into your full potential. Okay. Next, I'm going quickly because I want to have time for your questions, and then we have Q&A after. Okay. I think we're on 7 or 8 at this point. Next one is gratitude, okay? This one is so key. But a lot of times people are like, yeah, I'm grateful for this, I'm grateful for that. It's kind of like when people like praying at shul and they don't even know the prayers they're saying, but they're just going through it really quickly to get through it. No. The gratitude I'm talking about is actually being present and being able to cite at least 3 specific examples for you of what is already working, okay? What I mean by that, let's say you want to manifest an amazing relationship. You don't have that yet. But let's say you have a really great relationship with your sister or your friend or a colleague. And that's a healthy, great relationship. Bless it. Be grateful for it, because you're telling the universe, I want more of that. Stop and pay attention to what is already working. Be grateful for that. Bless that. And that is how you call more of that back into you. Okay? So we're going to break it up right now, because one of the best things that has come out of 2020 is TikTok. It's my opinion. And I just saw that they have 3 more days to make a deal or we lose TikTok. So in the meantime, Sam, can you play, let me just get my list. Let's play number 2.
Okay, so if everyone could bear with me, I'm going to share my screen. So 60-second impression.
Yes, let's do that.
Okay, hold on. I got it.
University of Pennsylvania. Follow this 60-second rule to attract anyone. A study at the University of Pennsylvania, where they ran a series of speed dating tests, showed that the brain can fall in love with someone that you find attractive within less than 60 seconds. So what can you do to win someone over in such a brief period of time? Well, it's not based on what you say, it's based on their impression of you, made up of 3 things: your personality, your attitude, and your appearance. So to make them swoon in 60 seconds, number 1 is to show immediate confidence. Number 2 is to show light-hearted optimism, so don't take yourself too seriously. And number 3 is your body language. So by smiling and having open body language, sitting straight up or standing straight up, and not fidgeting, you're showing confidence in yourself. People find that really attractive. You know I've got you. Follow this 60-second rule.
Okay, fantastic. So it really does happen in 60 seconds where we can assess someone's energetic level. It's a real thing. So personality, attitude, attraction, energy, right? So if you're going to go on a date and the energy of the date, it feels like a chore or just like final go, but he's probably crazy, she probably lies, just stay home. Because if you're not pumped about the date or the experience or the interview, then don't go. You're not doing yourself any favors. You're not doing your company any favors. The criteria to go out on dates is to be very present focused. Don't come with your energetic weight of like interview questions. Like, it's important that you have standards, right? This is what I do with my clients. We get really clear on standards, on what the actual true deal breakers are and what the must-haves are. But if there's enough, it's only a first date. And the first date should always be, we talked about this in the last webinar, 20 minutes. Now, I know a lot of us are virtually dating, so you can do a virtual 20-minute coffee date. But there's no reason that the first date needs to be a 2-hour expensive dinner. It's time and money that it's not necessary yet until it's established that it's worth it. So for this 20-minute coffee date, are you curious about them? Do you have enough level of respect for their life choices right now to want to learn more? That's the energy you want to be. I'm curious enough. I have enough information where I want to learn more. And a connection is a connection is a connection. There have been many dates that I've been on personally that I knew that they were not going to go anywhere romantically, but man, the magic that has happened since, because now they've become friends or contacts, and I've been able to meet incredible people I never would have otherwise, just because I wanted to remain open and I wasn't just so closed-minded that it had to just work out romantically or nothing. Whether it's personal, social, professional, romantic, it's about being open to a connection. And this works at a holiday dinner, it works at a birthday party, it works at a singles event. Go with the energy of openness and connection, okay? Let's do another TikTok. Let's do TikTok. I don't even know where I put it, but let's do number 3. Let's just go with 3. Let's see what that is. Oh yes, that's fine. Number 3.
Hey, wait, hold on. I gotta figure out how to get this going.
He's not perfect. You aren't either. And the two of you will never be perfect. But if he can make you laugh at least once, causes you to think twice, and if he admits to being human and making mistakes, hold on to him and give him the most that you can. He isn't going to quote poetry. He's not thinking about you every single moment, but he will give you a part of him that he knows you could break. Don't hurt him, don't change him, and don't expect more than he can give. Don't analyze. Smile when he makes you happy. Yell when he makes you mad. And miss him when he's not there. Love hard when there's love to be had, because perfect guys don't exist. But there's always one guy that is perfect just for you. He's not perfect.
Okay. So, isn't TikTok amazing? Okay. So, perfect guys don't exist, but also perfect girls don't exist. And I'm going to tell you from experience, personal and professionally, ladies and gentlemen, look right at the camera here. We marry our unfinished business, okay? So whether that unfinished business comes out now, later, or much later, it's gonna come out, okay? Especially if you were in your 35 plus, you've been around the block and then some. No one's coming with a clean track record here. So it's so important to understand that the person that you're meeting is gonna have flaws. They're gonna have, that inner child that wasn't loved enough, wasn't seen enough, wasn't heard enough. We all have that pain, no matter what our circumstances are. We all have childhood pain that was without our control as children, that as adults, we now get the opportunity to process and transform and translevel it, okay? A lot of the problems in marriages happen when that wound comes up and there's a lot of displaced anger and pain. And instead of dealing with it yourself and looking at it as opportunity to grow with your partner and strengthen your relationship even stronger, people tend to displace all of that past pain onto that partner. It's because of you, you're this, you're that, you're this. And they start to remove responsibility and accountability from themselves, and they start to separate. And I see this all too often with the work I do. I work with men and women on a regular basis who have stepped off the marriage platform. And this is why I'm so passionate about you guys understanding your own crap. the more you own your own flaws, the healthier of a chance you have to move forward. And when a flaw in someone else is revealed, you don't have to get scared. You can look at it as an opportunity to come together as a team to transform that. And this is something else I do. Once you are a couple, I work with couples so they don't get stuck. I've saved plenty of marriages with this information that I know. Don't be afraid of flaws. Flaws and triggers are opportunities to grow and transcend, but know yours first. So if someone says it and triggers you, you don't lash out back and call them the names because they've hit a nerve. Own your nerves. Because again, a healthy, balanced person knows that they're not perfect, knows where their areas of weaknesses are. The more we have a grasp of all of our strengths and weaknesses, the better we are showing up more authentically in life. Okay, let's also do, how are we on time, Sam? How much longer do you want me to go?
We started can you do like another 10 minutes?
Yes,
Okay.
I sure can. Let's go to the next TikTok, number 4.
Something that great men find incredibly attractive is a woman who knows who she is, what she stands for, what she wants, and how she wants to be treated. A woman who could say, that's the line right there, and you just crossed it. And I'm not going to be mad at you for it, but I want you to know that if you continue to cross that line, you're going to lose me. See, a lot of people aren't confident enough to stand up for themselves in that way. But what it shows somebody when you do is that you're not going to diminish yourself in any way for their attention or for their affection. You let them know that spending time with you and getting to share their life with you is a privilege. And not that you're stingy about it or withholding about it, but simply that that's a privilege that has to be earned. That's something that I give to you as a gift because of how you treat me and because I appreciate how you treat me. And a woman who knows how to stand up for herself like that is exactly what amazing men are looking for.
Okay, what I loved about that video, and Bruce, shout out to you for calling it out. This video alludes to the importance of boundaries and speaking your mind and being comfortable, being honest. It is so refreshing today when people are actually direct and honest and say what they mean and mean what they say, because those types of people think what they have to say is valid, and that's attractive. It's very attractive when someone says what they means, what they say, and says what they mean. And men respond to that well, women respond to that well. And you can be direct without being rude. You can. You can be honest and speak from what works for you. And it's not your responsibility how it's received. It can be received well or not well. But if you are being authentic and comfortable and speaking directly and honestly about what your opinion is or what you would like or what your desire is or what works for you or doesn't work for you, that's very healthy. And that's how you attract or inspire that in someone else to stand up and meet you at that level. Okay. Let's do the TikTok number 5. Yes, 5.
Am I unmuted?
Asking about how I attracted my absolutely wonderful husband. So you all are calling national treasure, angel, all of the wonderful things. And here's something that I really want to share. I did not find him anywhere. I attracted him, and it happened to be at a personal development workshop. The best advice that I can give women is to fall madly in love with themselves, because when you fall in love with yourself, you raise your frequency. And when you raise your frequency, what gets matched, what comes into your life, who you attract into your life will be completely different. So the best thing we can do if we want to attract a wonderful man or a wonderful woman into our lives is to transform how we feel about ourselves and give us everything we would want that person to give to us. So my husband taking care of me and doing all these things is wonderful, but I was taking care of myself before he stepped in, and that's why it's so powerful. For all the ones who...
Okay, so she kind of underscores what I've been trying to convey to you guys this evening. It is so important. The more we fall in love with ourselves, the more that light will shine back. The more that person, that position will magically call it. You will call that to you because you're worthy of it. And it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. A quote that I say, that I've coined, that I use all the time, is once you are truly in alignment with what you desire in life and love, it's not a matter of if it's going to happen, it's a matter of when. Law of attraction does not necessarily make sense. It's not linear. It doesn't work like that. The hiccups happen, though, when people are not truly in alignment. They think they're in alignment, and they're stepping on their own feet. I mean, one of the things I specialize in is profile makeovers, okay? So many well-intended people are online, and they're trying the online dating, and the pictures that they've chosen, the descriptions that they're using are actually hurting them, not helping them. It's repelling the very kinds of people they actually want to attract, and it's attracting the very people they don't want to attract, so then they continue to be discouraged with online dating. One of my favorite things is to do online profile makeovers so people are excited about dating again, and they're showing up completely differently. And when you change your online profile, right? When you start showing up differently online, even if you don't love online dating, if you're showing up differently online, because that's really what we have right now, it shows up in every area of your life, whether you're in line at Starbucks, whether you're open to being officially match made, you start showing up differently, and it's amazing what magnetizes to you. With the clients that I work with, the range I have is between 1 week and 6 weeks after we do our intensive, our Get Back on Track to Full Potential in Life and Love intensive. Within 1 week to 6 weeks, they're attracting the partners they've never had before, opportunities they couldn't have dreamed before, because they are showing up differently. So you got to get clear on the intention, number one, and there's many different things that I do. With my clients, I do an individualized action plan. I give them homework and exercises and things to do to get clear on exactly what that is. It's about clarity, and then it's about action, okay? Because you can sit down with Tony Robbins, you can sit down with Jesus, Oprah, I should have said Jesus, we're in a Jewish crowd, but you know what I mean? Anybody big can sit down with you, including me, for an hour and a half and tell you every single thing, God himself, every single thing you need to do to live your life to full potential. Most of you are not going to do it. So it's not just getting the information, it's getting the action steps and being held accountable to it, because sometimes the hardest steps to overcome into the unknown are the most magical steps to get you there. Any businessman will tell you that you cannot get reward without risk. And a lot of times people it's scary to be vulnerable. It's scary to get out of the safety and familiarity of what we already know, even if that familiarity is toxic. So that's one of my wishes for you guys. For this coming new year, Rosh Hashanah, it means the head of the year, okay, in Hebrew. And the root of Hashanah, the verb is leshanot, which means to change, okay? It's not a coincidence at the beginning of New Year, we emphasize that change is possible. It is never too late to bloom right where you're planted, to get back on track to full potential in love and life. It's about getting clear. It's about doing enough work on yourself to feel that you actually things. And then it's doing the action steps needed. And part of that action step is getting back into that energy of receiving, the energy of openness, which is extremely crucial. So it is my pleasure to have shared this all with you. I'm happy to take any questions. And if you are interested in truly up-leveling, if you don't want to wait anymore, because who knows what's going to happen next year, right? If you're truly serious about getting on track to your full potential in love and life, I am here to help you. You do not need to do this alone. For everyone who has joined us this evening, all of the points that I talked about on getting back into the energy of receptivity, I've made a video just for that. So you can look for that in your email. And if you'd like to explore what working with me is like, because it's not your traditional therapy, I'll tell you that. I'm results oriented. I want you guys back on track to full potential as soon as possible. But 80% of success is showing up. So who is showing up? So with that, it's my pleasure to take any questions.
Wow, Daniella, that was really awesome. And I just wanted to say, it's not even just that it's a Jewish crowd. We just don't have Jesus available to talk to right now.
Yeah, although he was a good Jew. I mean, anyway, it's a whole other discussion.
Anyway,
yes.
Okay, so in the registration process before this class, I'm gonna basically go over, I kind of highlighted some of the topics that were really resonating with a lot of people.
Okay.
I think I want to start with the basics. I think even like what are practical and not practical, but like what are goals? How do people start figuring out their goals if they're not clear on it?
It's an excellent question. Okay, so yeah, I could do a whole other workshop on just law of attraction and how to get clear and what exercises to do to get your goals down. Don't underestimate the power of actually writing down your goals. What you would like to see in your life that you would like manifested, okay? So first, I would recommend just like stream of consciousness, just like get stuff out of you, okay? And then you want to get more specific, and when you write your goals, you don't want to say, I want to meet the man of my dreams. I know the man of my dreams is going to appear when the time is right. Or you want to write with the energy of conviction. It's not the energy of I wish, it's the energy of it's already done. It's on its way. That's the energy you want to come from. Visualization boards are huge. I have one right here on my desk, and I can tell you almost every goal on that I've manifested or I'm manifesting. Some magic is definitely happening in my life that I'm happy to share if you guys want to know. It's not just visualizing though, it's the feeling behind it. Okay, for example, one of the things that I've been wanting to manifest since I stepped off the marriage platform 3 or 4 years ago is a television show in Hollywood. I mean, how crazy does that sound, right? You know, I'm a psychotherapist in Northridge, in the Valley. I didn't go to film school. I don't have connections to the industry, but I have so much passion and content to pull from. I want to show, right? So I put it on the board. I'm actually in talks with some of the top reality producers in our industry today. And I mean, for the people who brought us Marriage at First Sight and Love is Blind, I mean, these are the people I'm in talks with right now, right? A psychotherapist from Northridge, even in lockdown, manifesting these incredible contexts that don't make sense. It doesn't make sense that I would have them. So getting a vision board, the feeling behind it. So I would visualize the feeling of the mic on me, right? The feeling of the light on me when I'm speaking at the camera. And you start to match that vibration to true life experiences, and it's truly incredible.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so I'm getting a couple questions in now. All right, here, let's do this. So one question I got, all I have from the question is how to start anew after trauma.
Have to start new after trauma.
So what
Yes.
are like kind of your next steps after a trauma? Like I'm not sure like what category of trauma we're talking about, but we'll speak generally.
Yes, it's a great question. And that's why if you truly have traumatic experiences, going to someone with a background in psychology or social work, psychotherapy is important, because oftentimes coaches themselves don't have the training or the wherewithal to really hold that space for what that truly means. They don't call it trauma for a reason. I mean, they call it trauma for a reason. It's a traumatic experience that often shakes you to the core. And when you experience so much pain, how do you not become more guarded? How do you not become more fearful? Because you know there's a cost now. There's a risk to feeling that pain again. So it's really, first of all, it's part healing, right? You have to be kind and nurturing and patient with yourself to like emotionally and maybe physically heal from whatever it is that it was. But the empowering part comes from what was really not in your control. What was that person, that perpetrator's responsibility in their journey, and really what you can let go of and no longer carry or burden yourself with. And there might need to be some time to get really clear on that. A lot of people, when they get hurt and really hurt, they shut down, especially men. It's really important, though, to bring that stuff up and out to the surface. So when everything comes down again, you truly are operating from a much healthier internal way.
Thank you. Okay, this next question I got is a question I have too. Okay, so the person that wrote me says, I'm a speech therapist. I do a lot in the community. Giving back is important to me. She's always on the go. She's always helping out with events. And listening to you talk, it seems like I'm filled with feminine energy, but this is actually making me think, is this like, you know, go, go, go attitude of like doing, is that more of a masculine energy?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
Go, go, go is the masculine energy, and we need masculine energy. Masculine energy is not a bad thing. Being ambitious and being able to handle a lot and producing diamonds under pressure, masculine energy is a very important energy. It's one of the two balancing energies we need. The problems happen when it becomes imbalanced, right? If we have a scale and we're way too masculine heavy, and we have our feminine energy is up here, right? Mm-hmm. So it's just a matter of bringing more of that energy of receiving, the energy of openness, spontaneity, and aliveness back into your life, making space and room for that, so there's more of an equation.
Okay. I had like more of like a practical question from someone that submitted during registration.
Okay.
She wrote, I contact men online, like on online dating, but most of them say I live too far away. What does that mean? My profile says I'm open to relocation. So, yeah.
I actually understand that. When people want and are ready to meet someone, they don't want to start something that's going to require so much effort right from the start. I always recommend dating locally first, because if you have something there, you can meet them right away. There's nothing that's ever going to replace the energy of being in a room with someone. So it doesn't matter how many times you speak on the phone or how many times you FaceTime, being in the energy and someone's presence is key. And when you're already starting far away, out of state, it's too much effort. Like if you happen to be in the same city at the same time and you meet, but you live somewhere else, that's one thing. You know, like sometimes people are bi-coastal. They're a few months in New York, a few months in LA. Sometimes they're in Israel. That's okay, because at least you're there for a few months. You can establish something. But starting something right off the bat as long distance, I mean, unless you're in the middle of nowhere and there's like no Jewish community, definitely start locally first. You just need one, okay? You can manifest someone amazing, I promise you. right where you're at.
Okay. Okay, next question. I know that being employed is critical for a relationship, which I'd like your thoughts on separately, but that's me talking. And then the next part of the question is, what if you're currently changing careers or in training? Can you still date?
So is this a male?
This is a man asking, yes.
Okay, yes. Let's not beat around the bush for the fact that, you know, there's a reason why men are attractive to physical traits of a woman, right? Because they're wired to reproduce. So when a woman has long, healthy hair, when she's showing her curves, they're going to be attracted to that. The same way that a woman is attracted to a man who gives off the energy of stability. He has a job, he's predictable, he's consistent, because if they're going to have children or they're going to devote themselves to him, they want to know that he's stable. So, and let me just tell you, men, please, we find it so much more attractive when you're wearing suits as opposed to you showing your chests. Okay, no one, girls who are serious are really not going to take you seriously. I mean, listen, if you're in your early 20s, have fun, God bless. But if you want to attract high quality for men, you know, show off what women value, right? Which is be distinguished, be professional. And women, if you want to attract a high quality guy, don't look like a prostitute, okay? Because if you're looking like that online, he's not going to feel special. You know, show your beauty, but you can do it tastefully. But also, don't be afraid to show your beauty. Don't have every picture a selfie of a headshot. You know, show your full figure, but you can do that hiking. You can do that in many different ways without it being trashy. So sorry, that was kind of a side part to the question. I think I went off on a tangent. Can you remind me?
Well,
Okay.
So my question on his question is, he's in transition with his career. He's working on being in transition, changing careers. He's interviewing for a new career. Can he date? Can he still date?
Absolutely. If he still has that drive and he's just in transition, that's fine. What counts is the work ethic and the motivation. That is what women are attracted to. So yeah, I personally would not have any problem if a man is in between positions or he's up-leveling to a different career path, as long as he has a path, a journey, an objective, a purpose, a drive.
Right.
That's what counts.
Okay. Side note, someone just asked me, where can a nice Jewish woman meet a nice Jewish man? I can't answer that for everybody. I think we're across the country as far as geographics, and I know we just touched on long distance dating. However, I am going to take this moment to plug Bashert Lounge and our Facebook group. There's a couple of different options with Bashert Lounge. You can post your profile in the group. You can sign up to be matched. I'm going to drop a couple links for everybody now. Corona has definitely changed the dating scene. You were not meeting naturally in person at events or just about our day anymore. There is going to be kind of like a change in, I think, how that goes going forward until we get back to normal. But in general, like, meeting people online is kind of the trend these days, even if they're in your area. So I just kind of wanted to throw that out there.
What I like about Bashert Lounge too is that we're already on Facebook. I mean, because the first thing we do from online apps is we go on Facebook and we see if we have mutual friends. We see what their last 5 posts were. There's so much information you can just get from that. Yep. So Bashert Lounge kind of like eliminates those steps. You're there, you know?
Okay. Here we go. Okay, so this is also a question I had. I like that we're all on the same page.
Okay.
I got a message for a question. In general, she's doing all the right things, right? She's putting herself in energy to receive new opportunities. She's open to new dating opportunities. She's open to new connections that come up. She spends time on self-care. She's genuine in her life. What is she doing wrong that it hasn't happened yet? And go ahead.
I love that question because it sounds like she really is ready to up-level. Like she's doing it. What is she doing wrong? So she's open to what that is. And that's another very powerful position to be in, you know, surrendering to the unknown and saying, what else do I have to do, right? That's coming from a place of vulnerability. And in vulnerability, you know what Brené Brown says, that's the plank of courage and strength. So what I would say is, you know, sometimes that's why when we are so stuck in our own bubble and our own little guinea pig wheel, we don't see what might be obvious to a professional. And so whether it's me or someone else, to really get into the reasons why that is. And it might be so obvious, but it went right over your head, right? And it could be something as just shifting your energy on a date. So you're in the energy of receiving, you're in that feminine energy of letting a man lead. Because sometimes, I mean, I don't know you at all, so I'm just speculating. Sometimes when a woman is the whole package, they're almost impenetrable. And a man doesn't know where he can fit in, if she even wants him to fit in. So you still want to have that aliveness, but that openness of, you know, I'm open for more. And I think sometimes when you don't have encouragement, you might not know what that feels like anymore. So sometimes people do things that can potentially repel something that they actually want, and they don't even know what they're doing. So don't be so hard on yourself, but this place of vulnerability is great. And I know you'll get more information, the information that you need, now that you've been clear on that question.
Awesome. Okay, I think I haven't gotten any more questions from the group. I think we've basically covered everything that came up in registration. I guess I just had, if you had any like closing notes for like, you know, how to go into this new year, like we'll borrow some of your energy because you seem like ready to take on the new year pretty well. What would be, you know, I think for me, it's like going into another new year, you know, like kind of keep being positive and keep being like open. You know, what would be your encouraging words for that?
Well, I mean, I'm all about authenticity. Okay.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's not about, if you're feeling like crap and you're not motivated to say, you know, life is great, life is going to be amazing. That's not authentic. You don't believe it. The universe doesn't believe it. So if you're, wherever you are at right now is exactly where you are. First of all, give yourself permission to be in that. A lot of people are going through crap, you know, with the unemployment, the stress of our country, health, you know, people might have family who've been lost to COVID. There is a lot of stress going on for sure. So I don't want to minimize that. The reason why I have authentic positive energy is because I have balance in my life, right? I definitely have my own stressors. I mean, I have 3 kids at home that I'm homeschooling on top of a full-time career. So there's a lot going on in everyone's lives that are not always fun. But when you take the time to speak to your dreams and speak to your heart, and you take to find time to cultivate that, wow, you know, I only really do have this life. Why not make it the best it can be? What would that even look like? Just even giving yourself permission to just daydream for a few minutes, like have those wild ideas. Like, you know, and the other thing I do with my clients is like getting them back into what they did as kids. Like, what was that lost creativity that you did as a kid? Did you lose yourself in drawing and writing and cooking? And what kind of creativity did you do? Because when you're in that creativity, it's the ripple effect to every other area. So I guess my wish would be, again, always come with yourself with compassion. Meet yourself exactly where you're at, okay? Because you don't need one more person, especially yourself, to be hard on yourself for not being, you know, if you're not being here when you should be here, right? So be where you're at, but be open to allowing creativity and the potential of dreaming to enter your life. Start there.
Awesome. Daniella, this has really been a pleasure. I'm going to drop in the chat your contact information in case anyone needs help manifesting their potential. She's DanielaBloom.com, psychotherapist, transformational coach, and as we spoke about, divorcee, success coach, and dating expert.
Yeah, and the other thing I do just for the Jewish community, I have a Dating with Daniella private vetted database because I know a lot of high quality Jewish single professionals everywhere, from LA to New York to Israel to Florida and everywhere in between. I'd love you guys, if you're interested, to be a part of that as well. Again, we'll open it.
We just lost you. What did you say what was the last thing you said?
It's just another avenue to be open with.
Right.
So if you want to be a part of that, yeah, I'll be sending an email with that information as well. And look out for my video. It will just summarize everything we did here. 10 minutes.
So I'm going to stop the recording, but don't go away yet. We're going to continue. But thank you so much, Daniella.
My pleasure.
Okay, how do I turn this on?